we're talking about the third book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. So if you haven't read the first two or watched our videos on them, this will contain a bunch of spoilers.
And also, what's wrong with you? Because everyone should read them.
A little judgment out of there.
If you don't like the court series, you can leave now.
If you don't like how aggressive Liz is, you can also just stay tuned and get judged more.
So let's start with a quick synopsis. Like, it's kind of hard to do this one because there's, like, you don't want to give anything away. But let's just set the scene.
Okay.
Kelly read it the most recent, so she has to do it.
It's the third book, and without any spoilers before we rate it, it's basically just the continuation and of book number 2. You learn a lot about the backstory of other characters. So like book number 1 and 2, they talk about backstories of Feyre and her sisters. But as book 1, 2, and 3 go on, they don't repeat any. They just go deeper into the characters you didn't hear about in the previous ones. And it breaks down a lot of the logistics of everything and how everything happened, and really ties up a lot of loose ends.
Most of them, but not all.
Yeah.
A couple question marks still left.
I mean, war is coming. That's not a spoiler. I mean, we've known that.
Yeah. This is kind of like the final book where they're battling Hybern. Like, everything that's been building in books 1 and 2, it really evolves and shows like the outcome in this book.
I think this is the like book 1 and 2 build and set the scene and get you hooked. This one is like the main scene and ties up loose ends. It does leave a couple, but like overall, when I finished it, I wasn't like, I don't know anything. I was like, most of it got tied up to where you're like happy that they're tied up.
Should we do ratings?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to rate this an A because I loved it. Like, I could just leave it there, but I really liked the first two. But what I really liked about the third book that set it apart was the action scenes. I thought the Sarah J. Maas, because we're probably not on a first name basis, did a great job of describing everything. And in some other books, I feel like I'm kind of filling in the gaps of like descriptions. Like, I make it up in my head, but this one, like, you could clearly like read and know exactly what was happening. It was very descriptive and very easy to read and very like captivating. You couldn't put it down. I couldn't anyway. And so, but then also the story, like development and the twists and turns and everything, just phenomenal. Loved it. A.
Okay. So I rated, I mean, all the Sarah J. Maas books are really high. I did this one an A+, because it was my second favorite of the series so far. So Mist and Fury was my favorite. Yeah, Mist and Fury was my favorite. This one was really close second. Because yeah, like you said, I mean, the first one you're kind of like story building, world building. The second one, you're getting hooked on all the characters and everything. And then this one is like wrapping that up and, you know, getting to that. I mean, you've been working towards Hybern for a while, so yeah, A+.
I gave it an A also. I mean, I don't know that I have a favorite of the 3 because they all hit different points. They're all really good and they all go together. This one wasn't the one that I couldn't put down. I mean, I still wanted to read it and but this one I moved through the slowest. The action scenes were good, but I think I liked the setup better and the back and forth in the first and second, but the action scenes were really good. Everything got wrapped up, which I really liked, or like the big things that I wanted to know about were explained and backstories were explained. It was very entertaining, but
I think this would be harder to read if you read it slowly, because like in the battle scenes and the action, you probably were like, wait, what just happened? Because it really flows just so like boom, boom, boom. Like there's a lot happening in every chapter.
it was hard to start and stop. And it's hard, especially in this one, because so much action is happening. It's hard to find a stopping place. And if you stop at the wrong place, you're like, I have to go on because I got to know what happens here. But there isn't a good lull in this book to stop.
I feel like Sarah J. Maas, like her action scenes are really, really good.
I completely agree.
Like even her other series, the Throne series, is like really good.
Yeah, they weren't like too drug out. Like I didn't have to hear about the hillside landscape for 4 paragraphs.
It's not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, she was like, we're on a hill and everyone's gonna die. Like, okay. She's like, roll with it. Right there with you, Sayers.
Liz, what do you rate it?
I rated it an A+. This is also my second favorite book of the series. The first book is Mist and Fury is my favorite. The second book in the series is my all-time favorite. This book, though, is a close second, mostly because of what happens to an ant. That's probably...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what moved this from an A to an A+, guys. So... she's awful. I also have a hilarious Nance meme that I want to post later, and I hope you all enjoy it. So,
We will.
yeah.
I don't think I have a favorite of these. Like they're all good and they all go together. Like I can't, they're kind of like children. Like you can't pick one as your favorite. You know, they each have parts of them that I'm like, done.
I like them all, but I have a favorite for sure. And we all know Madeline's favorite because she's obsessed with Cassian. So
I like Nesta too. I relate to her.
I think we all just agree Elaine is the worst.
Look
Yeah.
at shoulders.
She's not like bad. She's not like mean. She's
Just,
kind of
like,
worthless.
She's boring
I feel
as
like-
F, Kelly.
Like,
I feel
why are you always so much sadder than everybody? Everybody has seen so much worse shit than you, and you're like, oh, I gotta go stare at the wall.
What worries me the most is like I find her so boring and annoying and I like want to choke her. But like all her hobbies are things I do in my day-to-day life, like baking and gardening and shit. So I'm like,
You're always like,
warrant
oh,
some.
am I
hate
the
her.
Elaine of the
Yeah.
group?
Yes. I'm like, oh crap. At least Liz is just like me. So if I suck, then we just suck together.
equally the same. I love it. I hope that Sarah Moss releases an Elaine book and you get it and you open it and it's just blank pages.
Like, and then like one page is like, I'm kind of sad today.
Why is everyone mean to me? I'm gonna plant flowers.
She's
There's
just
so
like
many-
furniture to me. Again, I'm like, God, and and everybody babies her, and I don't know why.
I don't get the Nesta thing. That always drove me nuts. I'm like, why do you care so much?
No, Elaine has never
Feyre's
had
the
a
like,
pet.
yeah, Feyre's the baby, and they're just like, you can go do everything, and make sure we don't die in the winter. But God forbid anyone talks to Elaine with some sort of tone.
They're like, she got her heart broke, and Feyre's over there like, been through some
But,
shit too.
I almost feel like their characters in the first book don't match as well as to like what they become later. So I almost wonder if like Sarah Moss like didn't know what she had in store or had planned for like Nesta, because she almost seems like a different person in the first book than like the third and fourth and fifth.
Well, I mean, they kind of talk about it doesn't mismatch to me, but like if you think about everything that happened, I mean, I guess you'd be kind of different. But yeah, she made Nesta kind of extreme, I thought, compared to the first.
I like Feyre the best of the three. Like I feel like
I feel like Feyre and Nesta would get along better and be happier if Elaine wasn't around.
I don't relate to any of the sisters though. Like none of them, but I will say in the Throne series that I'm reading now, I relate to those female characters much more than the Acheron sisters.
Yeah, I'd probably be closer to Nesta, like on the cold side, but I don't feel like I'd be friends with any of them. What?
Andrew's over here nodding when you're like, I'd relate most to Nesta, and Andrew's like, yeah, you would.
I think my husband would say that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nesta, I like Moore too. I'd probably be a mix of Moore and a Nesta.
I liked Amren the best of all the
Oh yeah.
male characters.
No, I always liked reading about the Weaver.
Yeah.
The Weaver's underrated for sure.
He is. Like, come on.
Maybe there will be a side story book just about the Weaver.
I would love that. I would love that.
And Feyre's the villain, breaking into her house in the middle of the day for no reason.
I want to know
stealing
her
shit.
perspective.
Yeah, because the Reese was like, hey, let's steal us back.
Dude.
Spoilers, because I have a couple things I want to talk about.
Okay.
Spoilers. Woohoo. Okay. One of my favorite scenes, Liz, you already kind of said this, but one of my favorite scenes in the book was when Ianthe died.
Yeah.
It made me so happy because I just liked her from the very beginning. And I was like, oh, finally.
Right when she entered, I was like,
When her hand got crushed, that was a good.
Yeah. When Feyre made her maim her own hand, like what a badass move.
I don't know why you didn't do that earlier though. If you had all these powers, I'd just be like running around like.
I'm surprised Reese didn't kill her, to be honest. Or like with that whole scene, like do something.
Odd character.
She wasn't.
Like she's kind of slutty. Like
Kind of. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's
What?
going around with, like, all the
not
high
that you can
lords.
let it crack. Okay. You can be a slut if you want to be a slut, but like she forced herself on people. Like
I was trying to be nice about it. But yeah, she was like she's like, my main goal is to ruin Feyre's life, but on the side I want to bang everybody. I was like, what a strange goal to have.
Not just everybody, all the high lords of all the courts. Like,
no. I'm completely convinced her and Tamlin hooked up while she was there, helping plan the wedding.
No.
okay, so yeah, because now she hooked up with, who'd she hook up with on the like?
On the mating night thing.
Yeah, the mating night.
Wasn't it Lucian? He took one for the team or something?
I think it was Lucian, because when she's like, with the hand thing, I think they talk about how it was Feyre or something.
Isn't it odd how Spring Court has that ritual? Then you go to like night court and there's just like nothing. Like they just celebrate the stars.
Yeah, they're just like, look how beautiful it is at night. And then everyone else at Spring Court's like, let's have a giant orgy and someone needs to sleep with Tamlin tonight.
Oh my god.
There's so many memes about that too. It's so funny.
It's so true though, because night court's out there in like fancy dresses looking at the stars.
Yeah,
And Spring
like a
Court's just
dance. Yeah, they have fires and caves.
I don't.
Oh my god.
I was surprised that they didn't say more or do more about Elaine being revealed that she was a seer. I thought that would come into more play in the book. Like she can see the future, and instead she was like, I don't feel like I can do it right now. Like we're going to war. We need to know.
To be fair, even if Elaine had all the powers, I still wouldn't ask her to do anything because I'd be like, oh, I gotta go talk to Elaine. It's like talking to a wall. Like she's completely unreliable. So I get it. I mean, it's a bummer because that would have been handy to have, but she's unreliable. So they're probably like worthless. What a waste.
I have even more feelings on how worthless Elaine is in Silver Flames that we'll have to talk about when Kelly gets there. Because
I was really hoping she'd get better, but
I have strong feelings about Silver Flames. That word is hard. But yeah, we'll talk about that one later.
TBD. I have a couple of notes down.
okay.
Okay, so some big question marks I still had after this book. Another thing that was kind of left open was the whole point that they revealed who Lucien's dad was, but like they didn't do anything with that information.
They didn't tell Lucian.
Right. No, they didn't.
No one important, or no one who's involved in it knows.
Mm-hmm. And I thought that was kind of, I don't know, a loose end, but it kind of made me think like maybe the next book is about Lucy and Elaine to kind of wrap up some of those ends. Because it doesn't, like, Sarah Maas doesn't typically like leave like big hooks like that, but I'm definitely still confused. But then also Lucien finding Vasa, like I feel like that didn't even amount to that much. Like he was gone for a long time, off on like trying to find this bird lady thing, and then they show back up, and I just thought that would play more of a role in the story.
I thought it would turn more tables.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was helpful, thank you, but I thought it would be a bigger deal too.
Maybe not the best use of Lucien's time.
Right. Because, like, the dad was already going there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was kind of weird.
I also think the whole, like, Elaine not even being able to, like, look at Lucien is, like, weird.
Really weird.
Yeah.
But,
Really.
like, and it's not like, it was from the, like, get-go, right? And, like, he didn't do anything bad. He wasn't being creepy. He was just like, I just want to, like, say hi and, like, get to know her, right? Which I think is, like, a fair thing. But, dude, she was weird.
Trying.
Yeah, because like Reese does the same thing. Like like, in the first book, he just wanted to see her once. It's not like he's going around stalking her, and that's Lucian is just like, I wanted to just meet her once.
Well, I mean,
he's like, I can't even look at him. Ah.
Okay, so all I'm hearing this whole time is everyone hates Elaine, and she's the worst part of the whole book.
Wait until you read Silver Flames, and you'll be like, I hate her even more.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's depressing.
One more loose end that I'm like, well, what happened? And maybe I read over this, like maybe you guys know, but like Alice, Feyre's maid from Spring Court.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that they would have like she would have seen her and she would have been okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, there was no.
She hasn't been like asked about her.
I thought she would like run into her.
Yeah.
Or something. But yeah, no, she just goes with the boys, and then that's kind of it. She comes up in a new book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had one more loose end. What's the deal with Eris?
Yes.
I feel like something's gonna happen to him in the new books.
I feel like something more has got to come out about that whole.
I feel like we're playing up to something with him.
He around him, there's a lot of big loose ends or question marks. Like, so some of the stuff with Moore is revealed, some of their backstory because they were engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a lot of that's revealed, but it's not fully revealed. It's like they just gave you half of it, one side, and the other person's like, there's more to this. And then they're like, and now we're at war, bye. Yeah. And then like the whole dad thing, and then his whole like alliance with Night Court and stuff. So there's a lot of question marks around him.
Yeah. I want to know what's going to happen there. I'm real invested in his story.
It really hints at the fact that he might not be as bad as we think. Because it's one passing time she wrote this. Like, it was quite a few to where I was like, but wait, what did actually happen that night? Like,
right. It makes it sound like something's going to come out and revelations are going to be had, and like his side of the story is going to be shared, and everyone's going to feel different about him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had a thought. What was it? It was important.
Please don't edit this out. Leave this in.
I will.
Watch her struggle to think.
Madeline finally had a thought, and it escaped quickly.
Come back. It was about more.
How she needs a therapist and like
No.
no one talks
Dude.
about
How she tricked Azrael. I thought that was complete bullshit. Is this the right book?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like she tricked him for like a century, okay?
Is this
Yeah.
the right book?
Either I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
right
it's at the last battle that she tells Feyre that she's a lesbian.
Yeah, or she's
Okay.
bisexual, but she mostly likes girls or something like that. I think she's more on the girl team, which is neither here nor there. But yeah, she tells Feyre that. But here's the kicker. He wouldn't have cared. Like, he's also your friend. He may be in love with you, but and I'm sure he would, I don't know him, but I'm sure he would say this, I am your friend first. Why are you making life difficult? I'm sure his love would just go away and he'd be like, oh, it's really more of a friendship because it's not, like, why not tell him?
So I feel like there's more to this story. Like, he can't be that stupid for that long either. Like,
I almost feel like he's
He had shadow spies.
That's
Wouldn't the
true.
shadow spies have like told him?
They're both idiots. Like, she's like, I'm just gonna pretend I like this guy for however freaking long, like hundreds of years, and then he's gonna just believe I like him even though we never do anything or it never leads anywhere. Like, they're both idiots in that.
I feel like they're both trying to be nice to each other, but in the end it's on her. And I feel like he's not necessarily, I feel like she thinks too highly of herself. Like, maybe he's not actually in love with you. Maybe he's just trying to be really nice to you so you feel comfortable to tell him because he already knows because he's a shadow guy. Like, and why not? You told Feyre, you barely know this girl compared to him.
More though, like, doesn't encourage him to get with other people, or like, I don't recall a specific example of her getting like jealous or anything. But at the same time, like, by keeping that door open, she's shutting a lot of doors for him. And I just don't think it's fair. I don't.
But also, what about how she flirts with Cassian in front of Nesta?
Yeah. Well, and like, that's Israel's best friend. Like, it's like his brother. So
Messed up.
Selfish.
She's just, being selfish, being a little catty about it. I think she's giving herself too much credit. And I think she's trying to mask it and be like, I'm being nice. But I think you're being more mean than nice.
Yeah.
Your intentions might have been good in the beginning, but it's...
How come nobody else
all
ever
adults.
says anything?
I don't know.
Like, Rhys even says, like, we don't talk about it or don't mention it. He says to Feyre. He's like, because she, like, says some sarcastic thing, like, what's the deal with that or something? And he's like, don't mention it.
Yeah, because if you ask her anything personal, she, like, loses her shit for 4 days and goes on a bender. And to sum it all up, this girl needs therapy for multiple reasons, and they have the money to get it, yet no one's getting it.
I wonder if they have therapists in Valeris. They now have art
go
therapy.
in her mind and scratch out the bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
We have
Maven's
ethical
mom.
rules about that.
But
Maven's
for sure,
mom.
saddest
Maven's
parts
mom.
of the book. When the cereal died,
That was
Oh my
awful.
god.
when
He's,
Bryce
like, one of my
died,
favorites. When who?
Reese
yeah.
died, cried. When Amryn, you thought she was dying, and then when the bone carver died.
And Strida.
Dan also almost dies.
Who?
Cassian.
Oh yeah, and Cassian when he almost dies.
Okay.
And the dad. Did you say the dad?
No, I didn't. But yeah, when
No one really cared
there's a
about
lot of death in this book, and
I did not think the dad was that important, but some people might.
No, I think that's why he died.
So, is this okay, I don't know if this is the right book. No, it is the right book. I was really excited about what's the thing that Feyre lets out.
Braxius, a library guy.
Braxius. Yeah, okay. I really want to know what's going on with him. And I love how he's like, I promise I'll come back. And he's like, JK. Peace
Yeah,
out.
he just disappears and they're like, so you need to go hunt him down. Honestly,
Love it.
I think the hardest part of this book, for two reasons. The serial dying, because he's this wicked creature that everybody's scared of, and you like really grow to love him. He's so helpful and nice, a little cryptic, but like you really grow to like him, and they get this friendship over a couple correspondences. Okay, so he dies. It's horribly sad. But right before that, you're insanely happy that Anantha, whatever that word was. Yeah, you're so happy that she's gone, and then you just get shot in the foot with the serial dying. Like, it was just a roller coaster of emotions right there. That's why I think it was the hardest. It was like the most beloved thing in the book with the most like connection and character development right after the worst thing died.
Yeah.
It was
It's
a hard
hard.
one.
It was tough.
It's-
Who here
And I'm
cried during this book?
I cried twice.
When did you cry?
When the cereal died and when Reese died.
I was mad. I didn't cry. I was mad.
I wasn't
Oh,
like
no.
sobbing, but like I for sure had like tears.
Like
Yeah.
teared up.
I don't think I ever sobbed, but just
I think I teared up a little when the cereal died, but I was mad. I was so mad because he like knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
It was such a sacrifice. I was so mad about that. And then when I read Reese died, I almost stopped reading the book. Like completely. I was like, you know what? You guys are terrible with your book picks. I'm never listening to you people again.
whenever I would like read it in the living room and I'd be like something sad would happen, I'd just like get the book closer. What are you doing? I don't want you to see me crying. Don't understand.
It is crazy how you get like so involved in books. Like you really, well, maybe not you, but I definitely feel like I'm like in them and like those are my friends and I'm living what is happening. And I feel like some people don't understand, like Ross definitely does not understand. Like today,
I don't. Yeah.
I was reading the last 40 pages of Queen of Shadows in lunch, and he came in and kept trying to talk to me, and I was like, Ross, I need you to stop talking. He's like, why? We now split up offices, so we meet up at lunch sometimes in our kitchen, and he's like, Madeline, why? It's a book. You can get back to it later. I'm like, I'm on 40 pages left of a 600-page book. Like, give me space.
I'm going
to understand. They don't understand how important it is.
No, I don't think Corey does either. I think he's just like, okay.
No, I got mad.
Brian's mostly confused by like the types of books we read because I've started explaining the plots to him in like a quick high level, like couple sentences, right? And he's just like, what the fuck do you guys like? It's
Well,
really funny.
I told him my favorite was The Weaver. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, it's like this lady. Well, I was like, I don't really know what she is. She's in kind of a human form, but imagine Voldemort, but with like blackness. And he was like, what? And I was like, and she uses skin for her roof and stuff and like human hair. And he's like, what is wrong with you that you like this girl? I was like, I just think it's really neat. Okay. I tried to explain The Weaver to him and he was like not having it.
All right. So the book is amazing. Everyone should read it. Read the other two first though.
Do it.
Just order the whole pack. Don't buy one at a time. Like you're gonna need the rest. Just order the whole thing. Like a group order.
If you don't, the books will be delayed and then you'll be very upset.
And then you'll have to read like a good quarter of it online or something.
I read like a whole book online because I couldn't wait.
You paid for it twice, didn't you?
Oh my god.
It was this book. Too. Swings around.